right, so we got YouTube back up going, and now if I can just get Facebook back up and going again, everything will be copacetic. And there we go. Sorry about that, Saints and Patriots. You may have to refresh your screen. Okay, Terry, sorry about that. Few problems there. I gotta get a stronger computer. I think I'm gonna have to get a stronger computer if I'm going to live stream both on YouTube and Facebook. I think that's what the problem is. Terry Hall.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. I had a problem there. The video live stream cut. I think I'm gonna have to get a supercomputer to be able to live stream both on YouTube and Facebook, I think. But I got it back. Here we are. Okay, so listen, let's do this.
All right. Well, I've also looked it up real fast, if you don't mind, of what people can get on my text alerts. You text "No Toll Texas." Type it in as all one word, no spaces. "No Toll Texas" to the short code 94253. 94253 is the number that you text the words "No Toll Texas" to get on our text alerts during session, where we tell you who to call when bad stuff's happening, also when good stuff's happening, and when we need certain phone calls to go into certain reps. It's the fastest way to alert everybody, since even now email we can get bogged down. And we would love for you guys to sign up for that, especially your listening audience.
We'll do it again, Terry. Say it again. The whole
thing.
Thing.
Yes, it's No Toll Texas. No Toll Texas, all spelled out, no spaces, to 94253. 94253. And you should get a little message that pings you or whatever that lets you know that happened. But yeah, let's talk about legislation, because there actually are some decent bills already filed again. Like Symphronia Thompson has been very good on the civil asset forfeiture bill. And as you know, people like Senator Connie Burton, who took that issue under her wings on the property rights end of things, in a very bipartisan coalition, did a big press conference even last session from the Lieutenant Governor's press room, along with Symphronia Thompson and several other Democrats as well as Republicans that really are concerned about this issue. And that bill did not pass, by the way, but it's been filed again this time, and it's House Bill 404 by Symphronia Thompson on the civil asset forfeiture front.
Isn't that weird? And then Phil, on some of these issues, where it really is all about liberty.
Some Democrats get it.
The Democrats get it, and they take the issue from the Republicans, where the Republicans should be leading the charge on it.
You betcha. I know it.
It really upsets me.
I couldn't agree with you more, but we do have some another good bill coming out from Phil King, House Bill 347, that relates to eliminating, if you remember, on the annexation bill that got through last time, it implemented this tiered system so that if you're from a smaller area, smaller population of a county, that you have to go do extra work and go door to door to get petitions signed and get signatures to bring annexation to a vote in your area, whereas the big cities, where people actually are right next door to their neighbors, don't have to do anything. It just automatically goes to a vote. They can't forcibly annex you without your consent in those areas. Well, this would eliminate that tiered system and make everybody have the ability to have an up or down vote of whether or not they want to be annexed by a city and have to pay that additional tax, and potentially if they can sell you on different benefits that they would get from doing so. But at the end of the day, we have a whole lot of problems around this state when it comes to forced annexation and people being gobbled up by cities when they live outside the city limits. They already voted with where they lived and decided, if I'm living outside the city limits, I know what that means, and I want this, and I don't want you to come gobble me up. But these cities have gotten so out of control, so out of hand, and like you said earlier, they've overplayed it to such a degree that now they have an annexation an anti-annexation force to be reckoned with across the state that's so heated about this that I'd sure love to see this bill pass, because I don't think it's fair to have a tiered system where if you're in a dense urban area, you automatically get to have a vote on whether or not you want to be annexed. But if you live in a rural part of the state, that you have to go do all this extra work. I don't think it's right, especially in rural areas where you can have miles between ranches, you have gates you have to deal with. It's not right to have to make all of these folks have to go door to door and get signatures in order to get a vote and consent to annexation. So that's another great bill, and that is by a Republican. But I do kind of have a feeling that we're going to have another big fight on this, because, as you know, a lot of the Democrats are pretty much tied at the hip with the Texas Municipal League and the Texas Association of Counties, that are the big lobbyists that try to defeat these types of bills. And unfortunately, with civil asset forfeiture, our biggest enemy in getting that bill through is, of course, law enforcement, which, you know, most of us line up behind the guys in blue on a whole bunch of issues and want to protect them and make their job easier. And we appreciate all the work they do. But at the end of the day, we don't want people's constitutional rights being violated and having their cars, and in some cases, you know, it can even extend to homes depending on how all this plays out. And they take it without you even being charged with a crime. And it can be almost impossible for some folks to get their property back, even once they have been exonerated and, you know, cleared of any suspicion on any crime. And yet they can't get their property back because they've made it so hard and so expensive. You have to hire attorneys, which, of course, this disproportionately hurts the poor and minorities the most.
Let me jump in, Terry. What is the doesn't the platform address this from 2018?
I believe it does, yes.
Okay.
We want an end to it. Yeah, but it's very clear that the Republican platform wants an end to civil asset forfeiture. It's a money-making scheme by law enforcement, unfortunately.
We run into the same problem that we did when it comes to constitutional carry, the same problem that we did even just trying to get licensed open carry, that regardless of what the will of the people, how they express it, even in the Republican Party of Texas platform, law enforcement will come up and say, no, we're law enforcement. We trump the will of the people. We supersede what the Texas GOP platform says. And I have literally heard law enforcement officials. I remember this years ago. I was at a Montgomery County Republican women's event, and the sheriff got up previous to me being the keynote and boasted on how many assets that they'd been able to confiscate.
Exactly.
You know, and the people are applauding.
They're making millions, and that's why they call it policing for profit. And the law enforcement guys get, you know, cringe when you say it that way. But that's ultimately what's been going on. And we are Texas, folks. We cannot allow this kind of abuse to take place. Nobody's trying to take away legitimate tools of law enforcement to seize assets of drug dealers and other nefarious folks that are committing crimes. Nobody's trying to take that away from them. We want them to take down the bad guys. But what we're saying is you are gobbling up a whole lot of good guys with this process, and you're abusing people with it and not even committing a crime. They've not been charged with a crime. They haven't committed a crime, even when they're completely exonerated from even suspicion of anything, whether it's a traffic stop or otherwise. And they still can't get their property back in a state that claims to boast of being a strong private property rights state. This is criminal that we have allowed this to continue session after session with such a spotlight on this issue now. A lot of people are becoming more and more aware of it. I mean, I remember 2 or 3 sessions ago when Kathy C., who used to be the chief of staff over in David Simpson's office, brought this to my attention. She goes, hey, Terry, I know you're a property rights person. You've got to find out about this civil asset forfeiture thing and how bad this is. And she educated me about it, and that's when we got on this wagon, because we're like, oh, this is absolutely horrible. And it's a lot of what we've seen, the abuses take place with eminent domain. And I know that Senator Kolkhorst had filed many bills last session to try and fix some of those eminent domain abuses and couldn't get any of her bills passed. None of them got through. Again, We're in a state that boasts of being a strong private property rights state. But what's happened is we've got law enforcement that has a huge lobby arm, and their political action committees that are a coveted endorsement tool for a lot of politicians. They do not want the men in blue to be, or men and women, I should say, in blue to come out against them in their next election cycle by going up against law enforcement. They wield a lot of power. And so we just have to remind these guys who really they work for, that it's we the people, and it's at the end of the day, we don't want to take legitimate tools away from law enforcement. We want to make sure that innocent people are not getting their property seized in policing for profit type schemes.
We don't that
help balance budgets.
We don't want to weaken law enforcement. We just want,
of course not.
We just want due process to be
That's
applied.
Right.
That's all. Okay.
Exactly. You have a constitutional right, and they should not in any way, shape, or form be able to take and seize your property when you have not committed a crime. What kind of society are we living in if we allow that to happen?
In some instances, the only way you'll be able to defend yourself is by the assets that they've seized.
That's right. And you have no way to access that. And, it's similar to what's happened with the toll collection nightmare that we've seen unleashed on Texans. I mean, I don't know if we've talked since that interim committee hearing that happened in August, if we talked much about what happened at that.
No, Terry.
But
I got to do a hard break. Can you come back
tomorrow?
Okay. I got to let you go. Can you come back tomorrow or Friday? Can I text you back and forth and see when your next schedule is, because you're on.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
It's a big deal. If you find out how many millions of Texans have been put in collections over toll fines and fees, it is shocking and should be front page news across this state.
It's plunder.
You bet it's plunder.
We'll make it front page news. You know that, Terry. Thanks so much, Terry. Look,
all right.
Later on today, tomorrow, I'll text you, or later on today, and see what your schedule is like, even tomorrow and Friday, so we can continue this, because I want to get this ramped up going into these first 30 days of the legislative session, okay?
You betcha.
Terry Hall of Texas Turf. Get on the email list, and of course you can get all of her stuff right here, all of her contributions right here on Raging Elephants Radio. You have no excuse not to be a liberty activist. This is a dedicated wife and mother of 10 who homeschools. And she's an expert on transportation in Texas, the foremost, if you ask me, and now even more so on civil asset forfeiture and eminent domain. We didn't even talk to her about eminent domain with this whole wall issue. This is a serious issue. Don't cut the stream. Eugene Ralph is up next. If I have to do an RER overtime because of all this holiday stuff, then so be it. I'm the boss. I can do that. Eugene Ralph is up next. Don't cut the stream.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit: Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out.
There is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true, but the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texan has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texan, why and how Texas will leave the Union. Texan charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texas, I'm in it. Texan, why and how Texas will leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Pastor Stephen Broden is a featured Bible teacher.
What runs interference with God's instructive word are Satan, the world, and the flesh. Out of these three comes doubt, fear, and unbelief. Doubt and
Enjoy
fear
Pastor Stephen
leads to
Broden,
unbelief.
9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m.
More
Sundays
than
on
any
RER
other
Cross,
sin
right
is
here on
targeted towards
RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
the very character and integrity of God Himself. It challenges God's promises, for stated purposes, and casts dispersion on His plan for you and all who believe. This is what Satan did in the Garden of God with Adam and Eve. Satan led them to believe God was holding back on them and was untruthful about the consequences if they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Enjoy Pastor Stephen Broden, 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Listen up, Texans. RER Nation has got to grow. We've got to have those RER app downloads. Android devices knows how to share the RER app. Get to your application manager through settings, tap the RER app logo. There's your Google Play, right? Scroll down, see the share icon, hit it. Choose text or messenger. Pick a couple of Texas Patriots. Give a testimony in 160 characters. Send. iOS device folks do the equivalent through the App Store. Let's get it viral. RER app. Can you do it? The RER 2+2 Challenge. Howdy, Rowdy Texans. It's me, E, the millennial voice of RER. I'm a big fan of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. More Texas voters should be listening to RER every day. A better, deeper knowledge of how Texas...
Oh, there he is, right on time. Because I was fixing this, like, I don't know where Eugene is. I'll just go back to more Bevo trying to kill Uga video. That's what I do to kill time. Eugene, Happy New Year, my ultra-conservative soul brother.
Hey, brother. What's going on? What's going on with you, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and your beautiful family. Hey, man, yeah, I was just... There's many serious things that are going on out there in the world. I just thought that today's program I needed to have heavy focus on Bevo trying to stomp Uga last night at the Sugar Bowl. I thought that was indeed the #1 story that needed to be covered. So if we had missed our connection today, I was just going back to more Bevo trying to gore Uga video. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No, I did not. I'm not that much of a football guy, man. I kind of take it or leave it.
Oh, it was crazy. It was trending. The only thing that I want to talk to you about today, Eugene, more than anything else, something that our new organization, the Texas Black Republican PAC, is focusing on, something that's long overdue, an alliance of brothers that have been doing our own thing, our own organizations coming together to use our collective IQ experience to be more effective, to get something done. And that is get more people of color into the Republican Party. And that's what I want to talk to you about extensively for, I guess, weeks and weeks and weeks to come. Because I I know.
Yeah. We've got a lot of work to do in there.
Yeah, I know that you feel the same way that I do. That above everything else, the Republican Party of Texas does. That this should be the number one priority, the number one objective of Chairman James Dickey or whomever is going to replace him. At this point on, they should have learned their lesson November 6th. Eugene?
Yeah, you would hope so. I don't know, man. Sometimes people have dickheads. It takes a little while for you to beat some sense in them. But you would think that they would have picked up on it by now. So the jury's out. I think I'll put it this way. From what I'm hearing from the activists really got it. Those on, I would say, the rank and file voters, they really got it. The people at the top, they're the hard hits, and that's actually where we've always had our biggest struggle with the people at the top. So, I think that this move with starting the PAC is definitely a proper step forward in helping us to assist the party with actually bringing more blacks into the party, and also being able to bring them in, understanding the issues and having the proper mindset. Because, I was at, some of my relatives' house yesterday, and I just asked a question because, they kept making references to Trump in a derogatory manner. So I asked them, I said, so tell me, what is it about Trump's policies that you like or don't like? And so the more they talked, the more they were telling me that they like the policies, they just don't like his demeanor, the way he goes about things. And, I said, well, you're probably in good company there because there's a lot of Republicans that don't care for that too much as well. But they really couldn't tell me any policies that they strongly disagree with the exception of this last thing he did with the Syrians, where he pulled out of Syria, at least where he's scheduled to pull out of Syria. And both of these guys are former military, so they have some trepidation with that decision and how he's going about it. And I think that's a valid concern. But everything else, they were right there with us on the border. They were right there with us on the taxes and a number of other things when I got them to talk about it. But you got to get them.
We always knew that. Whenever we go into the best focus groups, the best petri dish of opinions in the black community, whether there's the barber shop, whether it's the beauty shop, whether it's around Sunday dinner table or Thanksgiving, Christmas, Resurrection Day, or whatever, and someone is bold enough to broach the subject on politics, we've done the polling, Eugene. You and I, we've done the polling. Right. Our polling results were not different. They were essentially identical. People will be shocked on these critical issues that Americans generally consider to be important, how blacks fall on our side. In huge margins. Eugene.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, basically that was a very interesting conversation, and I was encouraged to. I'll be honest with you. Normally we meet with this group of people on New Year's Day and sometimes on Labor Day, and and so we have some people that come up here from New Orleans as well as we have some people that live here in the Dallas area that we get together with, and it was encouraging. There was some people there. Actually, one guy was actually from San Antonio. He lives in San Antonio, but he comes up here because I think one of the relatives is his sister. And so it was a very interesting conversation for, I would say, first time, as we've been meeting for several years, first time we've had that interesting of a conversation. And I think Trump caused it because they kept making references to it, whereas in the past they just ignored whatever. We really didn't talk politics, So.
Did you have a chance to see that video, that interview I did with Ricardo Regalado, the brother from New York that moved down here? I don't know if you had a chance to see.
Actually, I just saw that on the website. I hadn't had a chance to look at the video, but I do plan to check it out. And once again, man, it's making our point. When you get into a conversation with black people, typically, and you really kind of get past a lot of the foolishness, one of the things that comes up is the fact that the Republican Party has never made an effort to target, I would say, to message to the black community. They don't talk to us is normally the response. I mean, we don't have anything. We don't like them because they don't talk to us. But their ideas are formed by others that are outside of the party, helping them formulate what they think about the party or what they think about the individuals who are part of the party. So that's where, like I said, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for us, the Texas Black Republican PAC, to be able to get a message into the community, talk the language, break things down in a way that makes sense, and help people to come to some realization about some things without a lot of rhetoric and a lot of hyperbole, which is really important.
Okay, now, if you can, from your point of view, the purpose of the Texas Black Republican PAC, what do we want to get done? What should we be doing? How should we be interacting with the party and others?
Well, I would say probably the number one thing is to, if you want to call it this, and I don't know if this is the best name for it, but sort of act as a liaison between the black community and the party in order to help blacks who are conservative in nature and living their lives that way understand that this is the best choice as far as a political representative is concerned for you moving forward. When you look at the policies promoted by the Democrats versus Republicans almost on every level, you're going to be as a black person, average black person is going to be in major disagreement with those policies. So a lot of it comes down to making it understandable what the policies actually mean. Because a lot of people have an idea of what the policies mean based on what the news media says, but often that's not even anywhere near accurate. So we have to break it down in such a way, and we keep it simple. I don't say get into an elaborate discussion about this type of stuff. Basically, just help people understand on the surface, just this is what it's really all about, and these are the reasons why, and for more information, go to this website, in which when we have a website, now they can really go in and get educated. And I think that's actually the media, the technology is going to do a lot of your work for you.
Okay, so you're a big proponent of Texas Black Republican PAC working closely with the Texas GOP. Are you an advocate for it becoming an auxiliary of the Texas GOP?
Well, yeah, I think it has to be. It has to be an auxiliary, but it has to be something where we're working hand in hand. I think what's happened. Well, I don't think I know at this point. What's happened in the past is the Republican Party of Texas basically has made some efforts to reach the black community, but it's not been anything truly sufficient. I think the Black Republican PAC has to be something that has a certain amount of independence, where we can do what's necessary without having to ask permission. That has to be something that's understood. But at the same time, our goal is to bring black people into the Republican Party. So basically having the backing of the party, when we say something, we say, okay, this is what the party stands for. The party has to stand for it. The party can't be, dipping and diving all around the place and, kind of making excuses. They have to stand firm on what they say they believe. And I think that's really what's gonna make the difference. And also, one of the things that I believe as well is there's a cultural, some cultural understanding that's going to have to happen on both sides, because like I do, that as a people, black people and white people have they because of their backgrounds, they have different cultures that they come from. They see things differently, and there's going to have to be some understanding of each side in order for people to get along better, begin to realize that in reality, we just think differently because we have different backgrounds. It's not because we're that much different in other ways. We have a lot of commonality. So I think that
the values are the same.
Yeah, the values are the same, and that's where we come together. We come together on our common bonds, and I think that's going to help to mend a lot of fences as far as some misunderstandings in the past.
Eugene Ralph is with Game Changers, and now the Texas Black Republican PAC. Proud to call him a teammate. And of course, for quite some time now. He's been one of your favorites as a Raging Elephants Radio contributor. Thanks a lot, Eugene. Talk to you next week, my brother. Happy New Year to you. Make it be prosperous and full of blessings.
Amen, my brother. Be safe.
I'm Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, the Christian politician, your ultra-conservative soul brother. My enemies under the pink dome call me the purifier, and I like it. I don't know what they're going to call me after this 2019 legislative session, because we're going to be on fire and on them like mad dog on red meat. From Houston, may the Lord Jesus bless you. May the Lord Jesus bless the future independent sovereign republic of Texas.